And I call the honourable member for Melbourne Port.
Speaker, why are we having this debate on government integrity? Why is the minister responsible for the standards of members and senators raided by the Australian Federal Police? Why, knowing that the Special Minister of State had told 60 Minutes that the member for Fisher had purloined the former Speaker's diary and had spent a further three minutes explaining why this was justified, why did the Prime Minister appoint him to that august and particularly sensitive position, a position that requires the highest ethics? Some say that Lord Turnbull, the member for Wentworth, maintains that nothing happened in the last 2 years because he doesn't watch 60 Minutes. He doesn't care what they broadcast. He doesn't know what the plebs think. No, the public is right in guessing that the member for Fisher was elevated not because of his ethical status, but because he was a player in the putsch that removed the member for Warringah to satiate the ego and ambition of the member for Wentworth. The appointment is a political mistake that goes to the heart of the Prime Minister's judgment. In 2012, the Liberals believed they could use chaos to bring the Labor government down. Chaos in Parliament, chaos in refusing all duties such as chairing this House. From the first minute, the Abbott Conservatives wanted to exact revenge on Slipper. So suddenly, falling out with the then Speaker with his staff member, who took a harassment claim against him, contributed to this atmosphere of chaos. Why did the member for Fisher involve himself in this sordid destruction of the then Speaker? Even without the status of the Special Minister of State, as an individual member of Parliament, is this the kind of behaviour that has integrity? It's not just the revelations that he made on 60 Minutes to Liz Hayes. As the member for Isaacs recalled, he confirmed this in a subsequent broadcast on ABC Radio 30th of July when he was asked, and I quote, "You're comfortable receiving material from someone else's diary?" The minister responded, and I quote, "Absolutely." Speaker, on the 27th of February 2014, in the judgments that the member for Fisher, the Special Minister of State, is constantly referred to, the judges said that Brough was prepared to look at evidence produced by Ashby does not necessarily mean his purpose was to harm Slipper politically. He was not exonerated. He was not vindicated. The judges simply said does not necessarily mean. The current member for Fisher mistakenly believes this vindicates him. The paragraph is clear. The courts did not decide the question of procuring the diary excerpts. They merely stated it does not necessarily mean that the current member for Fisher was motivated in this way. Today we saw the beleaguered Special Minister of State claim that the costings decision on the same case had nothing to do with whether he knew about the procuring of the diary. The same judges in the same case awarded $3 million costs against Brough's confederates, Ashby and the solicitors Harmers. The judges said there had not been a trial of all issues. The relevant evidence had not been given, and the reliability of the witnesses had not been exposed to testing by cross-examination. In the event, as noted above, that will not occur because Ashby has discontinued his proceedings. We've had the raids, Deputy Speaker, on Ashby and Brough. We've had the misleading of Parliament, as the member for Isaacs has so ably pointed out 5 times. We've had the silencing of the opposition over these censure motions. And most extraordinarily, I've never seen anything like it, we've had the government repeatedly refuse to defend the member for Fisher on any of these issues. I cannot believe that none of the front bench, the Prime Minister, the Attorney-General, even in a statement, do not appear to have read the judgments, especially the costing judgment, which says exactly that no judgment was made about these kind of things. Exoneration was not given, vindication was not given, because these issues were never finally judged. There was no cross-examination. The case was dropped because Ashby, who made all of these allegations of harassment by Slipper, dropped that case. As the minister's own state newspaper, the Courier-Mail, has said, the Prime Minister's loyalty, they say, is admirable, but Brough should do the right thing and go. Mr Speaker, that is clearly the choice that the Special Minister of State should make. In the interests of this parliament, in the interests of parliamentary integrity, how can he sit there as a Special Minister for State when he sees his colleagues, none of them will defend him? All of them are worthy people who want to speak on other issues, but none of them will specifically defend him on this issue. For the sake of this parliament, for the sake of Australian democracy, he should resign.